afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. I'm glad that you're here. It's lovely to be with you here at Jar of Marbles. My name is Linda.
You're all upside down and round the place this morning.
Doesn't matter, Bob. We're all here and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I guess so.
Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about holding grudges. Holding grudges is a common emotional experience that many people go through, but it can be mentally and emotionally taxing.
Oh, Godfathers, that's true.
It typically arises when someone feels hurt, betrayed, or wronged in some way.
Resentment?
Yeah, or anger towards a person or situation that just seems to persist over time. Mentally holding a grudge involves a lot of repetitive thinking and emotional attachment to negative feelings, which can have a range of impacts on one's mental health. So what's going on mentally?
Yeah, what's going on? This is going to be great. I'm going to love this, aren't I?
Yeah, you are, Bob. Cognitive overload.
You see, here we go.
When you hold a grudge, your brain constantly ruminates on the offence. This means replaying the event over and over in your mind, often imagining different outcomes or ways the situation could have been handled differently.
I mean, how often do you think that when you've had some words with someone and you look back, so I should have said that, and I could have said, I wish I'd said that.
Yeah, something like that. And this mental replay can create cognitive fatigue, making it harder to focus on other areas of your life.
So what's happening with cognitive overload? Will it hurt?
Well, cognitive overload happens when your brain is trying to handle too much information, Bob, or too many tasks at once, and it becomes overwhelmed. Think of your brain like a computer. If you open too many apps or tabs at the same time, it can start to slow down, freeze, or even crash. Similarly, when your brain is bombarded with too much to process, it can feel mentally exhausted, stressed, or even confused.
Oh, yeah, no, thinking back, yeah, that's me, I've been there, yeah.
This overload often happens when you're juggling too many things like work, personal issues, social obligations, or you might just have a lot of thoughts and worries. Your brain gets overloaded because it has to process all of this information at once, and it doesn't have the capacity to handle it all effectively. When you're experiencing cognitive overload, you might feel...
Are you really tired?
Well, yeah, you would. You would feel very tired. You could even be forgetful. You might start to forget things you usually would remember easily, like appointments or just simple tasks. And boy, don't we beat ourselves up for that one.
Geez, you know.
And we can sometimes in our mind think, crikey, is this the point where I'm starting to lose it? Because I didn't remember to do X, Y, and Z. And it's simply that. We just expect so much of ourselves. We expect so much of our brain that can get really foggy or distracted, can't it?
Yeah.
It becomes hard to focus on one thing, and your mind might wander constantly from one thought to another. Now, that's taking energy, and that's why we end up feeling so tired, and we can get very irritable, and the stress of trying to process everything can just make you more frustrated easily. You can just get upset easier. And then, as you were saying, Bob, about being exhausted mentally, you just feel drained, even if you're not physically doing a lot of work. So the key problem here is that your brain is trying to do more than it can handle, and it starts to lose efficiency. To combat cognitive overload, it's important to slow down.
Yeah, have a bath.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, definitely have a bath.
Yeah, I like baths. I think baths are a very nice way to relax and, play with your toys and fiddle around with your cloths and your brushes and all your nice candles and just, yeah.
Now that sounds really nice.
Oh, yeah, I love my baths.
I know, you're in there for a very long time. Sometimes I feel like I'll just send in a search party.
Really?
No.
Oh, hang.
So it is so important, obviously, to take breaks.
Oh, yeah.
And give your brain time to rest and reset.
Well, I feel like water solves all problems.
Oh, yeah, Bob.
I want to lose weight, I drink water. Clear my face, I drink water. Tired of a person, drown them.
If only it wasn't illegal.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, Bob. Thanks for the laughs. If we can't laugh at life, then pack your bags.
And go to the moon?
Go to the moon. For sure. By reducing the number of tasks or thoughts you're juggling at any given time, you allow your brain to work more effectively and reduce the stress that comes with trying to do too much at once. We all know that one.
Oh, yeah, I know that one, being such a creative man.
That's right, Bob. With grudges, they often involve strong emotions like anger, betrayal, or hurt.
Yeah, they are biggies.
They are. These emotions tend to linger because your brain keeps activating the memory of the event.
Over and over. Why would you bother?
Well, the more attention you give to these feelings, the more embedded they become in your mental landscape.
Clean up your mental landscape, I say. I'm not much on seasoning today. I just kind of poke at it with a stick.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, it's all right.
In relation to your ego and identity, holding a grudge can sometimes be tied to your sense of who you believe yourself to be.
Your sense of self?
Yeah, Bob. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
That's all right.
When someone hurts us, we may feel that our dignity, our values, or personal identity has been violated.
Rubbish feeling, that.
It is, Bob. The grudge may stem from an internal struggle to protect that identity, even if it means holding on to negative emotions.
Is that like maybe you should think outside of the box?
Well, I believe if something is ruining your life, it might be time to think outside of what you've been doing up to date.
I don't think inside the box. I don't think outside of the box either. I don't even know where the box is.
Good, Bob.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't.
Take a deep breath. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. Sometimes we don't want to be seen as weak or vulnerable. Sometimes holding on to a grudge can be a defense mechanism.
You know, in truth, I enjoy people whose humour teeters on the edge of inappropriate with just enough spice to derail a family gathering. Yes, I do.
I'm with you, Bob. Great fun.
Yeah.
It's easier to hold on to anger than to face the vulnerability that comes with forgiveness or letting go. By keeping a grudge, you may feel a sense of control over a situation where you'd felt powerless or perhaps wronged.
The man who invented spell check today, may he rust and piss.
So, what happens to mental health? The stress and anxiety that is caused by holding on to anger or resentment can cause prolonged stress.
Hey, things I have in common with Victoria's Secret models. Being hungry.
Thanks, Bob.
Nah, that's all right.
When you stay angry, your body remains in a heightened state of alertness.
Oh, does it?
Yes, which leads to physical symptoms like increased heart rate or muscle tension.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I can get a mysterious sore back when I'm all upset like that.
Well, that's right, Bob. Over time, chronic stress can lead to burnout, depression, and anxiety. Holding on to that grudge could result in reduced emotional resilience.
Oh, yeah, good fathers. What's that?
Well, it's the energy spent on nurturing a grudge often prevents emotional healing.
Can it? No, blow that.
Yeah, Bob, it can make it harder to bounce back from future challenges or conflicts as you may find yourself stuck in a cycle of negative emotions.
Sounds scary, stuck in a cycle of negative emotions.
Well, this is right. This is the whole strength and power of grudges if we don't snap them in two and get rid of them. I think it's fair to say that it's perfectly okay if your main goal this year is to create a softer and easier lifestyle for yourself. Life is supposed to feel good.
Oh, I do, likey. I'll never forget my grandfather's last words to me just before he died. He said, "Are you still holding on to the ladder?"
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, he was quite the guy.
Holding grudges will and do impair your relationships. Grudges not only affect your emotional well-being, but can also harm your relationships.
Well, I suppose they would.
Well, they do. Even if you're not directly confronting the person you're angry at, that lingering resentment can affect how you interact with others, making you more guarded or less open to trust, and then in turn making you a bit tough to be around.
Geez, I don't know. I think letting go of a grudge is hard. It's really hard. What to do to let go of a grudge?
Well, you have to acknowledge the emotion, admit that you are carrying it, to yourself. The first step is to recognise that you're holding a grudge and understand why.
Hey, have you ever pooped so hard that your smartwatch asked if you want to record the workout?
Oh, Bob,
Yeah.
reflection allows you to separate your sense of self from the event or person you're angry with, recognising that the anger or resentment is a response to feeling hurt is a crucial first step in moving forward.
Oh, yeah, very much so, yes.
I know myself, if something's bothering me, sometimes I don't even know. I'll say, to a friend, I might even say to myself, hey, Linda, what's going on with you? Like something's bugging me. You can feel it. And once I know what it is, I then know that I've got to face it and I've got to sort it out so that I can just live my little happy, nice little life. So you've got to shift your focus, actively choose to focus on other aspects of your life that do bring you joy and make you feel peaceful and happy and proud. Yeah, all of it. Distracting your mind with positive experiences and personal growth can reduce the mental energy spent on negative feelings and soften your mind. If you don't intentionally create your day today, your future, your mind will create whatever it got used to seeing in your past.
So it's important to let those grudges go, or be careful if you feel that you're starting to hold on to a grudge.
Exactly, Bob. So hashtag holding on to grudges.
Oh, yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. I don't want to be doing that anymore. I know that one. Dip.
Do you? So let's talk about empathy and perspective taking.
No, let's talk about juicy pizza. Talk about pizza, I mean, what's it to do? What's it doing? What's it looking like? Looking at me like that juicy McGroosey slice of pizza.
Oh, empathy's not your jam, not your thing, Bob?
Me, no, I don't like jam. Don't like jam. I buy peanut butter and I kiss it on the lips. Thanks
for that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Now, withholding the old grudgeroo, empathy and perspective taking, sometimes holding a grudge is tied to a limited perspective on the situation. Trying to see things from the other person's point of view can help foster understanding and compassion.
Like you'd like to receive yourself.
Yeah, this doesn't mean excusing the wrongdoing, but rather recognising that everyone is imperfect.
Except for me.
Yeah, exactly, Bob. We can and do make mistakes. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning bad behaviour. It's about releasing the emotional burden that comes with holding on to anger.
Hey, what do you call a magic dog? A labracadabra labrador.
That's really bad.
Oh, no, I thought it was quite good.
It's an act of self-care because forgiveness frees you from being tethered to the past.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can start by forgiving yourself for holding on to the grudge and then consider whether the other person deserves forgiveness.
Only you can sort that out. I don't want to adult anymore. I don't even want to be human. I want a cow. Yeah, cow. Just like wander around with gay abandon and then simply tip over. I want to eat whatever I want and then just headbutt any ding-dong that annoys me.
Aim high, Bob.
Yeah, I will.
Consider therapy or counselling. If the grudge is particularly deep-seated, it may be helpful to seek therapy. Talking to a mental health professional can provide guidance on processing and letting go of negative emotions in a safe, supportive environment.
That's a good idea for anybody, if for any reason.
Totally agree, Bob. Mindfulness and meditation. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can help quiet your mind and create mental space away from the negativity associated with a grudge.
Hey, they say with age comes wisdom. So when does the wisdom kick in? When does the wisdom kick in?
Yeah, righto, Bob.
Yeah, that's right.
These techniques can help you stay present, release past pain, and embrace emotional healing. Holding grudges is a natural reaction to feel hurt, but when sustained, it can be mentally draining and hinder personal growth.
You know you're old when someone compliments you on your alligator shoes and you're not wearing any.
Mentally, it involves persistent negative thinking, emotional attachment, sometimes as an inflated sense of identity or ego. The good sense is that letting go of grudges is possible.
Oh, yes, it is. If I can do it, anybody can.
Well, that's a really good point there.
Yeah, I think so.
By acknowledging the feelings, shifting your focus, empathizing with others, forgiving and seeking support, you can begin the process of freeing your mind.
Like a free mind, holding on to those grudges was a pits, and for the longest time I didn't consider it a problem.
Yeah, that can happen so easily. Breaking the bonds of holding grudges can be a transformative and liberating process. Even when you're in the right, holding on to resentment can affect your well-being.
But what to do? What to do?
Well, Bobo, I've got a few little suggestions coming up, and hopefully you'll find them helpful. But here are some steps you can take to move beyond grudges and find a little bit of peace.
Great.
Most important, you must acknowledge your feelings.
Age isn't important.
Unless you're a cheese.
Oh, yeah.
So the first step in letting go of a grudge is recognising and accepting the pain or anger you're holding. It's okay to feel hurt, but it's important not to let those emotions dictate your actions.
Yeah, you can be led by them.
Then you can get to truly understand the impact. Reflect on how holding on to the grudge affects you. Emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Often carrying resentment can weigh you down and prevent you from moving forward.
Or enjoying your life.
By practicing empathy, you can try to put yourself in the other person's shoes, understand their motives or reasons behind their actions.
Remembering that holding the grudge really only hurts you. I know it hurt me when I did.
While this doesn't excuse any wrongdoing, it can help you gain perspective and diminish the power of the grudge.
Diminish the power of the grudge. Kick it to the curb, dwellers. Down with the grudge. Down with the grudge. That's right. Down with the grudge.
Good on you, Bob.
Yeah.
Don't let it get so overpowering that it has become your main focus, say for revenge. Release the need for revenge or justice. Letting go of the need for the other person to pay for their actions can be incredibly freeing. True healing comes when you release that expectation that they need to make things right and you need closure and all that, so it'll be right in your eyes.
Yeah, it only makes you better.
Forgiving takes strength. Forgive for your own peace. Forgiveness is not about excusing the behaviour. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of anger. Forgiving yourself and forgiving someone is an act of self-care.
And there's a hot tamale there, self-care.
That's right. You don't have to forget what happened, but forgiveness allows you to reclaim your peace and move forward.
Yeah, that's right. It's quite a subject, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There are people who hold grudges against you for things they did to you. Now, that's how nuts it can get. So all the more reason to focus on the present and your future. Direct your energy toward what you can control, your own actions, your present state of mind, and your future growth. Focus on positive things in your life that bring you fulfillment, things that are meaningful to you.
Yeah, you could be on the brink of a breakthrough, I say.
I must say, I do love that feeling.
What feeling?
Well, when I know I've made a breakthrough and something that has had me, by the short and curlies, and I just couldn't seem to get past it or over something.
Oh, yeah.
The most defining moments in our lives are most often rooted in our most painful experiences.
Yeah, that's true.
There comes a day where you just get sick of being led by something that never ends, that causes ongoing discomfort, say in this case, holding a grudge. Maybe you feel you deserve better or more or less of something.
When life shoots you lemons all the time.
Well, it can feel like that, but if we stop and really face it, look at it, it isn't all the time. And without a doubt, yes, it is a lot.
Yes.
So I'm saying from my experience and in those moments in between the madness is a real opportunity to consider other ways of thinking and being.
Like doing a bit of reframing.
Yeah, for sure, Bob. Those moments when you're just sick of feeling sick. Well, yeah, sick of feeling unhappy and uncomfortable because of somebody else. Like, don't give them the power. Reframe a pain you're currently living through as an opportunity to grow, because it's the little changes we make that actually lead to lasting breakthroughs.
Yeah! Yeah, that's so true.
It is, absolutely. You do not have to live with the responsibility of maintaining a grudge. Depending on what the grudge is, you can hold your stance on how the grudge came about in terms of, say, never having anything to do with the person, if that is what is required. But don't let it live in your body and your mind. Don't allow the privilege of having you feel horrid all the time in the hands of someone else.
Don't give the grudge power. Down with the grudge. Down with the grudge.
That's right.
Yeah.
Seek support. If you're finding it difficult to let go, and it can be really hard, consider talking to a trusted friend, a therapist. Sometimes having an external perspective can help process complex feelings and offer new insights. And sometimes you just need to talk about it 1,000 times, and then 1,001 comes, you go, you know what, doesn't matter anymore. And that's actually what happens. There's a quote about holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Ouch! If you're holding a grudge, you may be giving someone the silent treatment. If it is to someone you care about, that is actually really cruel.
Get your funny on. Come on, here I come. Look, hey, what did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies! Supplies!
Sometimes life dictates that you need space. Life can deal some really tough situations, can't it? There's no doubt about that, it's true. I have to believe that people claim to care about you and they know you're navigating a rough patch, that there is never anything to forgive. But if they don't know you're suffering in silence, retreating in such a way so that you are actually giving the other the silent treatment is not cool.
I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask where they're going and hook up with them later.
That was quoted by Mitch Hedberg. I will ask myself, am I practicing self-compassion? Recognise that healing takes time and it's okay to have setbacks. Be kind to yourself during the process and allow yourself the time and space needed to heal.
Yeah, it all takes time, dwellers.
So true, Bob. Ultimately, releasing grudges is about freeing yourself from the weight of negativity. Perfectly good time to be sensible.
Common sense is like deodorant. The people that need it never use it.
Thank you, Bob.
That's all right. Bloody true.
It's a journey of growth and inner peace, and it starts with the decision to let go.
Let go of the grudge. You got to let go.
Thank you, Bob. Or at least, the very least, look at that grudge and start thinking about letting it go. If it's not shielding you, it's not helping you, it's keeping you from being free. And that's us for the day.
No, how can it be?
It is time to split, Bob, but we'll be back next week.
Yeah, all right then.
So, say good day to the family for me, give the butterfly a flutter, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Oh!